Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rekt Capital and welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about Bitcoin, Ethereum and Litecoin in today's video. Thanks so much for joining me in today's video. Let's dive right in. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. And this is Bitcoin's price predicament really, because blue horizontal is 45,200. And what we've been talking about in the previous videos is that we tend to see great reactions from 45,200. Right over here, preceding some really nice upside. But the thing about these previous instances is that we don't always get clean retests. Of course, this was a clean one, but still downside wicking, really volatile price action towards the downside into an orange pool of liquidity, a demand area that has also been even revisited on this occasion right over here. So if we just cycle to this period in time, we're not getting a clean retest of the blue area. In fact, we are threatening to lose this blue area as a support. Of course, the daily candle isn't closed, so this isn't confirmed. We could even see this orange area really generate some positive buy-side reaction to the point that we actually produce a nice bounce from here and even daily candle close above this blue area. That's a bullish scenario, and that would be a really great thing to see from Bitcoin's price action, because that could also set up price for a really nice weekly candle close. But for the time being, we are testing this orange area, a historical demand area. And it's funny to say historical because we're looking at March and February price action. So that's effectively only a few months away. And we've only had a few instances where we've seen a test of this support. So 1, 2, 3, and we're going to talk about this third one in a second, and 4. And the thing about this support here, it was a support, right? You can see that deviation below to the downside. And then we actually lost this support and turned this support into a volatile resistance, rejecting price lower. So that's something that we'd like to avoid to keep this bullish bias, because at the moment, bullish momentum is still sustained as long as this orange area holds, because notice how we're also forming a higher low relative to this low, right? Higher low, or at least this is the higher low to this low. So let's see how things play out. A daily candle close below this orange area wouldn't be good, because that would probably set things up for a rejection, in a sense that this candle would turn this orange area into resistance and we'd pull back. Not as sharply as this time though. In fact, I think we'd pull back after a flipping of this into resistance. We'd pull back first into this 42 area, and the 40 area would probably be one of those areas to watch out for should that rejection from the orange area occur. But we're looking too many steps ahead into the future right now. At the moment, higher low is still intact. This orange area is still showcasing price strength confirmation. And let's see how we tend to, or at least how we continue to behave here at these price levels. Because at the moment, this dip in Bitcoin's price action hasn't really done much to sidetrack the new upcoming golden cross, which is literally a day or two away. These two EMAs are about to cross over, and as you can see from the past, we've seen the resistance at the 200-day moving average, resistance here, great support tests of this EMA resistance. So a golden cross is going to give us an opportunity to see the 200-day exponential moving average, a long-term gauge of investor sentiment, as well as the 50-day EMA, which also served as a nice support right over here. This is going to be a confluent area of support, and these two are still flicking up, going to cross over for a golden cross. And if we even get such a retrace, these two EMAs are going to continue to go up, which is going to bring us to around the 40 region. And I mentioned the 40 region when discussing this chart. You can see right over here, right? This would be the 40 region. So effectively, this red area being the resistance that it was, rejection here, here, fake outs, but rejection nonetheless, this red resistance area would probably be, once again, a support, because it was resistance here, here it was a support, here it was a support, and if we're lucky to get that sort of retrace, to get that support test once again, we'd see a previous resistance area on the weekly time frame become a new support once again, but we'd also be testing this golden cross confluence support area as well. So loads of things. Stars are aligning to produce a really solid support area should we even get that sort of retrace, because at the moment the higher low, the orange area are still intact, figuring as a support. That's what I'm watching for Bitcoin. Let's talk about Ethereum for a second, because Ethereum is flagging at the moment. And the bad news is that, well, we've seen a fake breakout wicking beyond this resistance. So we rejected from this resistance level, but the good news is that we're actually rebounding from this support level. So if you're just looking at things through the context of this flagging, it's just consolidating. So a green candle is like sunshine on a sunny day, and the red candle is just rain on a rainy day. It's just normal. The days are a little bit different, but generally it's still summer. It's still bullish, because a flag structure is a bullish continuation structure as long as it continues to hold. So we've seen such fantastic upside from Ethereum over the past few weeks, and now we're consolidating inside this flagging structure, which could be a reaccumulation. Effectively, because the most important thing to watch out for is this orange area. This orange area as a support has preceded some fantastic upside, and now this orange area is resting just below the flagging structure. We've seen a downside wick here, and we could even see downside wicking into this orange area once again, but the most important thing is to have a daily candle close inside this flag, just to preserve that bullish momentum that's just facilitating this potential reaccumulation here, because further consolidation for Ethereum inside this flag is going to facilitate some great altcoin rallies, as we've been seeing over the past few days. So consolidation here at the moment is the main theme here for Ethereum, and even pullbacks into this orange area, as long as we continue to hold this orange area until the weekly candle close, then that's still a bullish price predicament for Ethereum. So there's still quite some room for error. Even if we break down from this flag and still hold this support area, that's still a good sign, because notice how we're resisting here, resistance here, rejections, resistance and rejection here. But at the moment, just like over here, we were holding as a support, and we're still holding as a support. We're actually consolidating just above it. So really well positioned. Even if we get a breakdown, it's still well positioned. This orange area needs to hold, and the best case scenario would be to see another downside wick like this into the orange area, but still daily candle close inside this flag. So that's what I'm watching for, just for this flagging structure to still remain alive. That would be a great situation for Ethereum. And lastly, let's focus on Litecoin here. This is the 200-day EMA, a long-term gauge of investor sentiment, as you guys know. And in the past, this sort of rebounding above the 200-day EMA has been all well and good, but the thing that Litecoin has struggled to do in the past is successfully test this 200-day EMA as a support. And you see this on 3 separate occasions. And I wouldn't want to see this happen on a 4th occasion, because we got that support test of the 200-day EMA right over here. That was really fantastic. But now we're on the cusp of potentially losing it. And I don't want to say that we might be losing it, because daily candle closes, that's what it's all about. We were also on the cusp of losing the 200-day EMA a few days ago, but we daily candle closed above it, confirming it into a support, and we saw a nice rally towards the 180 zone. So we could still see downside wicking below here. The most important thing here is to daily candle close once again above the 200-day EMA. And that would be a successful support test. And we'd still see scope for further upside. It needs to hold this support area. That's what Litecoin needs to do to sustain bullish bias, because otherwise we could see a bit more of a retrace towards a support area that has seen some great rebounding, and you can notice that this support area is just below this 200-day EMA. So even though we might be on the cusp of losing it, we're losing it briefly into a strong support area that has held, or at least produced, rebounds in the past before. Of course, weakening with each rebound, which preceded a breakdown, but nonetheless, reclaiming this support would be great, because it is a reliable support, but testing it too many times isn't conducive to a bullish outlook. So one test, we've seen it here with this wick, that's fine. Another test, especially at a higher low, that would be even better. Let's see how Litecoin continues to hold this support area, which is approximately confluent, with the 200-day EMA. So far, so good. Let's continue to watch the market together. In any case, guys, thank you so much for watching today. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future. And of course, like the video if you enjoyed this one and want to see more market updates like this in the future. I'm Rekt Capital. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Speak to you soon.